Hey everyone, welcome to GrayManPrepping, and I hope everyone's having a good time. It's time for Tactical Tuesday, Tactics, Gear, and more, and we're going to be covering Tactics, Gear, and more, all of it tonight, because tonight's topic is what 10 preps help you sleep better at night. And how's everybody doing out there? All right, let me move things around. I'm so excited right now. About 10 minutes ago, I just happened to go over and double check on my channel, and they gave me the tab for memberships. So I get to add memberships to the channel here, and I'll be doing that after the live stream. So give me about an hour after the live stream to put memberships on all my videos and stuff so you can join the channel and stuff. And I'll talk a little bit about that here in a little bit here. Let's see who all's here, though. Let's see. We had first one in was CR, that's Creative Redundancy from north of the border. Then we had Tibor from over there in Ohio. And we got Patriot Prepper. And let's see here. Garden State Gardener's in the house. Oh, and Patriot Prepper said Joe from Garden State Gardener sent me over. So I went ahead and penciled it in there on the giveaway. And let's see, Pastor McQuaddy's in the house. Don't want to miss anybody as I'm scrolling down here. Glenn at How to Garden from Florida is in here. And Suburban Hillbilly is here. Moon over Miami. And that's all that's in here right now. At least those are the ones that are commenting. The numbers say we have a few more that are just watching. It's perfectly fine to lurk and learn. And I have no problems with that. And Weber Homestead just came in. Cool. All right. So, before I jump into the topic, I want to get some water here. Everybody, hydrate. It may be winter, but that's no reason not to stay hydrated. All righty. So, Suburban Hillbilly, so far, yes. Soon as Mac and Patty finish up their live stream, which should be probably running over a couple of minutes right now because they were just going full bore. They'll both be coming over. Good one, Moon. Good one. All righty. So let me bring up the. I'm going to talk about several things first. Oh, hold on, hang on. Before I jump into that, I know we got only 16 in here so far, but before we jump into what 10 preps help you sleep better at night, I'm going to disallow a couple of them. Because just about everybody's going to say it. I got my pew-pews and my freedom seeds. To me, and having been who I am, that's not a high priority. Here, being by myself, yeah, it does help me sleep a little bit better at night, but it's not one of the main preps. That is just, to me, that is a life tool. And I froze. Okay. Hey, Kaylin Strain was here. Oh, so funny, Kaylin. I was watching a video here just a couple minutes before, beforehand. Dr. Berg was talking about 1 cup of green tea a day helps your body to control, not cholesterol. It's something similar, sounds similar to that, which helps trigger. I mean, this too much of this one thing helps trigger weight gain, helps trigger insulin resistance and other stuff too. So it's interesting. You said you're doing a tea brew there. I gotta check into some stuff on that too. Okay, we also have Peasant Nation just came in. And everybody's talking. Uncle Al's here too. All righty, so let me go back over here, bring this up, and I want to talk about some of the things that I was thinking about, and I want to see how many of you were thinking along the same lines or not. All right. Water, first thing, and this is from one of my videos. Having water stored really makes me sleep easy at night because I don't have to freak out about water shortages. All right, so water is one of the things. Having water in case a water pipe breaks, it doesn't got to be a long-term problem, but just a short one. I know, like Kaylin in her apartment has several of those containers of water to store water in. Hey, my Aussie garden and kitchen. Hey, and so water is water is one of the rules of three. And it's the second rule. First rule of three is 3 minutes without air, the average person dies. The second rule of three is 3 days without water, the average person dies. So water is very important. And the next one here also has to do with a rule of three. It's the third rule of three. 3 weeks without food, the average person dies. All right, so I have plenty of water, as from that video I did. My wife was up here. When she was up here, we were going through checking up how much we have here. She wanted to get an accounting, and she figures I have, for me and her on her visits, have about at least 3 years worth of food here in Idaho. She has about 1.5 times that in California, but she does have our 2 boys down there with her. Hey, Lewis, it's the Marshmallow Man. Yeah, and that's why you got to store it properly, and take care of it, especially with this, like the polar vortex we had. A lot of people had water pipes break. All right, so what else do I consider helps me sleep at night easy? First aid equipment, medical equipment, medicines. I'm lumping all that kind of together. It should be like 2 or 3 things, but I got lumping it kind of together. So having all my medications, having first aid equipment, the proper first aid emergency packs and stuff like that, that helps me sleep better because I know I have it. Next thing is clothing. Do you have extra clothing for all seasons? Oh, I missed it. Okay, well, Gil did ask what helps me sleep, so I gave my list. Hang on. I got to go back and see where Kaylin put that in. Mattress, bottom sheet, top sheet, second sheet, pillow. Hey, don't knock that off. That is actually some good points in there I'm going to be getting to here in a little bit here. And let me go back down here to it here. Oh, no, Suburban, no. Oh, ow, ow. Dang. Yeah, mine happened over time when I was here. I did a video on it here in the new house where the valve behind the washing machine started leaking, and it was a slow leak. And it got down in the wall and started going under the linoleum into the kitchen, and that's particle board flooring in there, and it toasted that. And so but that was a big thing. But clothing, having clothing, summer clothing, winter clothing, everything else. This is some of this is some of my clothing in here. Of course, if you notice in my closet here, one of my upright closets, I got extra bed sheets up there in the top. I got flannel sheets. I got regular sheets. So I got summer and winter sheets for my bed. Got a walk-in closet with more clothes in it. I got another closet behind me here, behind the green screen here, full of clothes as well. And my wife has 2 closets up here with her clothes, some of her clothes in as well, besides what she still has in the huge walk-in closet I built for her down there in California. All right, next item here, go bags. Emergency bags for in the car, for get home bag. I hate calling it a bug out bag because I'm at the bug out location, but it's if you need to go somewhere, basically a government go bag where you have to you have clothes in and stuff. Where if you have to take a quick trip, you got clothes and stuff. All right, Weber's cheating. Ba-boom. Books. Yes, herbs, etc. Yeah, we're getting a lot of that here. All right, what else here? Camping gear. I have a lot of camping gear. So if something happens at the house, I can actually do winter camping out here in Idaho. It'd be tough, but I can do it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm wearing this hat here. This here, if anybody knows anything about Boy Scouts, that is the wood badge adult trainer emblem. And so I went through the adult training for Boy Scouts. I was a assistant scoutmaster, and assistant course director for several 8 NYLT courses. So let's see what else I got here. So okay, and of course there is the pews. All right, now some things I did put on there, which I was going to, but I'd already created it and already emailed it from the one computer to the other computer here. And it's in the, I think I mentioned it down in the description. All right. How many of you have a garden? How many of you can grow food? How many of you have a supply of seeds that'll last more than just 1 or 2 seasons? Hey, Mary Beth, how's it going? Not that I miss anything else. And then, of course, those of you who've seen some of the videos I've done before on my prepper library. It's an extensive library. And, of course, here at GrayManPrepping, we got the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And I'm going to grab something here. And this is one of the books. This is the first place prize I'm giving away. It's an $80 value sent to me by Joe and Amy Alton, Doc Bones and Nurse Amy. This is the 4th edition color version. And they also autographed to whoever's going to get it. I have one of my own as well. So they gave me this one to give away. So, that's part of my library as well, books. And then I have so many books, and every book I get a hard copy of, I have a soft copy of as well, if I can get one. And it is because sometimes someone says, well, soft copies aren't going to do you any good when the power goes out. Well, hey, I got solar charger for my Kindles. I got 3 Kindles. One is in an EMP bag protected. So everything I have on the other one is on it. And if I'm going to be having to bug out somewhere, I'm not going to be trying to pack books on my back. I'm going to be packing food, and I'm going to be sticking my Kindle here in my backpack. So I can carry my Kindle. It's light, and I can have hundreds of books on there. All righty. So I have a brown thumb. My brother grows everything for our 2 families, and you preserve enough for both houses. Okay, so he grows it, you can it. Got it. And I froze again. Go ahead, let me drop this other thing down so I can pull this stuff up here if I need it. So, ooh. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's amazing the information that people don't store at home. Now, like I said, I have a color. I have I actually have the first printing of the 4th edition color version, it wasn't until later on, and I bought that one. It wasn't until later on they put it in a spiral bound version, so it's easier to use, a lot more studying from and going through without worrying about breaking the spline like you do with large books like that. So, but yeah, so if I have to get a second one for our family, i.e. for my wife until she moves up here, I will probably buy her the spiral bound version and send that to her. Okay. EMP bags. For those that were watching a couple weeks ago when I had Ben Gilmore up on here, his YouTube channel is Minuteman Prep. His business is poweredportablesolar.com. He sells EMP bags from Tech Protect. So he's got that up here. And we have Corsair's trainer who is driving and lurking. Okay. And CR, if you want to come up here, I emailed you the link, so you can come up here, CR. And hello, Tofu. That's so cute. I mean, you got to say either hi, hello, Tofu, or hey there, hello, Tofu. All righty. And so, actually, Kaylin, I may wind up getting it for our wedding anniversary, which comes several months before her birthday. Her birthday's already passed. And I gave her a $100 Amazon gift card for her birthday. She's born in December. The staff sergeant's born in December. And she always, when we got married, she used to grump about me trying to do a big special birthday party for her. And she goes, when I was little, I always got short. Everyone kind of just grouped my Christmas and birthday present together. They'd forget about my birthday and give me a present on Christmas and say, this is both your birthday and Christmas present. And then she said, and it really wasn't that much bigger than anybody else's normal Christmas present. So I gave her a $100 Amazon gift card, told her to go splurge on herself. And I told her, you told me this story when we first got together that, you felt a little cheated for your birthday. Well, here, go get something for yourself. She redeemed it. She didn't tell me what she got. I'm not going to ask. But so think on it, people. What 10 things besides firearms and ammunition help you sleep better at night? Is it a bunch of food storage? Is it being able to grow a garden? Hey, Bob. Oh, shoot. I knew I forgot something. Okay. This here is for Bob. There we go. So Bob can come up here. And for Wayne, the Ungrateful Peasant, if he wants to come up here. And any of the usual suspects that I didn't email the stuff to before. That pillow helps. Yeah. All right. Patriot Prepper went the other direction, and yes, I have a collection of katanas and wasakis. I also have machetes. I have regular bows. I don't have a crossbow yet, but I got other bows over here. So yeah. And Steve is at a stoplight. Now Steve looks in his rearview mirror. He'll see a cop sitting behind him looking at him. Are you on your phone? Yeah, I know a lot of you've been answering stuff, but think of the odd things. Now here is one of my items that I am really grateful for. It helps me sleep at night, and at the same time, it keeps me awake. Brain going 400 miles an hour. Because I can't sleep. And that one thing that does both is my wife. And I froze. And everyone's going, your wife's not a prep. If you met my wife, you would know my wife is a prep. When I got married, I was looking for someone who, A, hiked, worked outdoors, did gardening. I had a list of stuff I wanted in a wife. And when I met Chris and we spent several nights up talking late. And it was like, wow, And I almost didn't let she actually, when I met her, she was renting a room from me because I just bought a house, a 4-bedroom house, and I was renting out a couple of the rooms. And she was one of the renters. Hey, Tammy, how's it going? We got Rebel Canners in the house. Woohoo! And what, we were up talking late and stuff. And I just realized, she has everything I want in, was wanting in a person. I like her. She's great and everything else. And I almost didn't rent the room to her. Thank goodness I rented the room to her. And we've known each other probably 5 weeks when we got engaged. And we've been married 34 years. Yes, there is such thing as love at first sight or love after several midnight talks. And so, that is the one, quote, prep I have that helps me sleep better at night, knowing that I'm married to her, but keeps me awake thinking, do I have everything in store for her in case something happens to me? So that's the one thing that keeps me up at night, is making sure she's well taken care of. But knowing that she is there to help me out helps me sleep at night. Hey, Barry, how's it going? Hang on. I don't throw cats, even before the new animal rights laws. Oh. Odd things. Fan, notebook, pencil, my clothes, shoes laid out, ready to go. My bug out bag within arm's reach. Cool. Probably one of the things that I'm not yet skilled at, but I'm getting all the stuff. I probably have now. I've been buying it up, a whole bunch of it. My wife's been buying stuff. We probably have almost 1,000 quart jars and almost that many pint jars. And now they got the pressure canner repaired and working. So now I got to start pressure canning. And once I have that skill down, I will feel that much more ready. But when it comes to garden stuff, I got an indoor garden stuff all set up here. I'm not going to be able to do as much gardening as I wanted to this year because the staff sergeant wants me to come to California, make several trips this summer, and haul stuff back here. So, so I got to, if I plan a bunch of stuff and I'm gone for 2 weeks down there, fixing stuff, loading stuff up, and making a trip back, either the plants shouldn't die because I have watering system down, but they may have grown so big and stuff they're out of control. All right, my approved vegetarian can help you sleep at night. I can grow anything, buy it cheap, and then preserve it. Yes, and that's one thing I like that I always said in there, or buy it cheap. A lot of times here, especially during the summer, the Sam's Club here, which buys its beef locally on Monday, Wednesdays, Thursday, and Friday mornings, if I get in there when they first open up, there is a lot of meat that still has several days before the best use by date, but they got it 25% off. Yes, I've stocked up a lot of meat, and I want to start canning it and processing it. All right. Oh, wrong one. Hey, Ace, how's it going? And so, Pastor McGuady, yeah. And it's little, sometimes it's little things in your preps that you don't think about as what helps me sleep at night. Well, if you're having all these little things, that's a little bit of stress removed. And that also helps you sleep. All right, Tibor says, went to the grocery first time in a couple weeks. Inflation is rampant. Get yourself prepared for out of control. It's coming. Yes. And it's and I froze. I just saw a couple things. Yeah, it's coming. I went to I was planning on getting, when I took the Christmas tree down, I was planning on getting a 60-inch or a 72-inch round table with the folding legs on it, because before Christmas they were like $79 and $89 at Sam's Club. 79 for the 60, 89 for the 72. When I went there today, $119 for the 60-inch. It was like, holy crap, Batman! I should have bought that beforehand and taken the heat from my wife when she was up here. All right. So Tammy's goal is to get a freeze dryer and a number 10 can sealer. All right, folks, bear with me a second here. I got to pull something up here because I have a number 10 can sealer in my wish list here and on Amazon. Canning, there it is. And let me scroll down to that. See, hang on, let's share this. So I got my oxygen absorbers, all my other stuff, my brake pump to pump the stuff out, and oh damn, the All-American 41 quart is listed new and used from $1,000. Keeps going up and up exponentially here. Where is that canner sealer? Probably down. This is all the canning stuff I have. There we go. Oli Kamunga. Wow. Okay. Going to go to this one here first. Holy mackerel. This was only about $400 when I added it to the wish list a couple years ago. All right, the number 10 can sealer, $1,500 now. Yeah, you're right. Inflation is going off the hook. And the smaller one here, which does the smaller cans and stuff, is $825. You know, if you want to can stuff into smaller size cans and stuff. Holy moly! Ouch! Wow. Cart almost full. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just picked up I didn't get that much and it was like $40-$60. I just got a couple items over there at the store, and it's like, wow. The only thing that hasn't gone up this year is the ice melt over at Costco. It's still less than $9 for a 50-pound bag. And I just got 8 bags this afternoon. Hey, Southern Blessed Homestead, how's it going? And yeah, it's going to be a while before we can number 10 cans. We were thinking about it back when my wife was getting a bunch of stuff from the LDS Food Center. And Patty's in the house too, so we got both Mac and Patty here. Woohoo! Okay, Wayne says almost $8 for a pound of ground beef, but burger patties for the same ground meat is, yeah. I've noticed that that if you get the tray package of meat with like 4 or 5 pounds in it, it's a lot more expensive than getting the package of patties. But at Sam's Club, amazingly here it's actually cheaper to get the 10-pound chub. The 10-pound long chub is the best buy of all, except for the stupid hamburger bulk hamburger they do, where they season it with crap. And in patties to season it, it's like, it's a nasty seasoning, and I can see why people don't buy it, because they always have it on 25% off. and people don't like it. I don't know why the person behind the meat counter insists on making it. It's like, you have tons of it out there and nobody's buying it, and they got tons of it on 25% off, trying to get it to move. And it's like, hey, just make regular hamburger patty, same fat content, put it out there, and it goes. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Your preps should include a community of people you can barter and trade with. It's like, well, I just lost it up here. Weber was saying his brother has the green thumb and he does the canning and preserving. Hey, work it out. Have people do what they do best. But while they're doing what they do best, have them teach others as well. Freeze-dried bananas, freeze-dried honey, freeze-dried butter every payday. Cool. Yeah, I need to double check on the what the price of butter has done up here at our Sam's. We're kind of lucky around here. There are 3 dairies close by, big dairies, and I know that the Sam's Club buys from gets their milk from one of the dairies. Because I was talking to one of the people, and they go, "Yeah, this stuff comes from," and name the dairy here. I'm not going to repeat it, but yeah, that's one of the things that keeps the prices down, because it's locally grown. It's not shipped very far, so the shipping takes a lot of expense out of it. And you got you have because the locals are able, alfalfa and everything's grown locally here. A lot of stuff produced locally. Prices are down a little bit lower on certain food items. Now you go try to get a jar of Smucker's or Welch's jam, and the price is astronomical on it. And now Smucker's has stopped using sugar in their strawberry jam. They're using high fructose corn syrup. So we're not buying Smucker's anymore ever again. And then Welch's did the same daggone thing, and we're not going to buy Welch's grape jam anymore ever. And Uncle Al says pounds of salt. Yeah, we have several 25-pound bags of salt put away. Hey, salt doesn't go bad. It's a preservative. You just got to keep it dry so it doesn't clump up. And even then, you can take a rubber mallet, put it in a bag, and break it back up again. Okay, I have to check that out. Now, there's one thing I have noticed though, when people are selling the freeze-dried honey, it's not 100% honey. There's a bunch of crappy additives in it. You got to be careful when you're buying freeze-dried honey from the stores and stuff. Check to see what's in it, because sometimes you're not buying honey. You're buying a little honey with sugar and some other stuff in there, and it's like, I want pure honey. That's one thing else we're lucky about here. There are 2 big bee guys around here. One of them is Cox's Honey, and they have a huge lot of bees and stuff. With all these alfalfa fields, the potato fields, and everything else, we got locally grown honey here, and they sell it up at Walmart, the local Walmarts, the local stores, the Albertsons, the Brolums, and they sell it at Sam's Club and Costco, because hey, it's local. They can get that organic honey brought right in and not have to pay the shipping on it, so they can sell it lower. And it comes with the organic label on it because that's how they do it here. Oh, okay. So, yeah, for Oz garden home and home kitchen, yeah. Wow. Okay. Hang on, what's going? We got a side chat comment here going on with Steve and Uncle Al. Steve lives in LA. I'm going back up to what started that conversation. Now, Steve doesn't have a gas oven anymore. He's in a house all electric. Yeah, there's a lot of snowflakes that are out the states, California, that are pushing to ban. Actually, California banned new housing from having gas. It has to be all electric. And the problem is, do you know how they're getting the electricity? They're buying all the natural gas, and they have natural gas fired power plants to produce the electricity. However, to cook a meal on with using that electricity costs way more than it did for the gas they produced that electricity from. Stupid. Anyways, get off that one. Okay, get back down here. Okay. Yeah. Catching up on that. What did Tibor say? Yeah. Okay, there you go. Don't buy your honey at Walmart. It's honey flavored corn syrup. Yeah. And here's Bob. Hey, Bob.
Hello, everybody.
I know one prep that Bob is very thankful for and it helps him sleep better at night. His home in the Philippines.
Yeah, big time. Well, I'd say one of my very top number one thing is my family. Period. You know, I'm
Yeah.
thankful for them because they're all into what I do here, and they're no family to mess around with except for me. I'm the weakest of the whole bunch.
But you're devious, sneaky, and you have production manufacturing skills.
I have stuff stashed. That reminds me. Yeah, a little bit of money shortage right now because we took a trip and all that stuff and just bought a house, blah 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 blah. But I'll be getting back into more devious, ingenious, nasty, simple to make stuff.
Yeah.
One thing for escape and evade, and then another thing for making people's feet uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
Hello, Ozzy.
Yeah. So is the missus feeling better today?
Of course.
Okay. Sometimes the staff sergeant, she carries a grudge for 2 or 3 days before she lets me back in her good graces.
Just leave him alone for a day or so. Yeah. It's the best thing.
Oh. My Ozzy. Message for you, Bob.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, man, I put, anything like that happens, I put it right out there in front of the wife and stuff. Well, she'd been telling me for some history. I wanted to live in the Philippines for years. So she would send me to different islands and different cities alone numerous times because she said, you need to know what you're getting yourself into. You really do need to know. And that was one of those circumstances where it's like, oh, crap. I've been warned about this. And honestly, all I did was follow them to find the little sorry store, and I bolted out of there. As soon as I did that daddy stuff, I'm out, you know. But they followed me back and they found a locked gate. Yeah.
Bros. Hey, Brenda, how's it going? Yeah, the probably one of the biggest things was when we bought this new house. Yeah, we have the 5 acres across the street where my daughter and her family's at. But when we got the one across the street, yeah, and like you said, it was money. It was, there were certain things in it. But it's like, okay, we got another house up here. Mm-hmm. We can relocate everybody from California up here like that.
Yeah. Yeah. The same with us overseas. Yeah. We can go right now if we need to. Yeah. All of our passports and paperwork are current, and I've got a visa that lasts for 1 full year. I can come and go as I please, and we can reapply my visa for a permanent residency for pretty cheap.
Yeah, especially if everything goes over
completely
here.
South. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. It's like that's one of the things why I'm not doing so much of a garden this year. I'm going to do a little bit of stuff that I like in the race in those IBC tote planter beds I made. I can do a couple things in there.
Yeah.
Because my wife wants to bring a lot of stuff, make several trips to California to bring stuff back up here. And some of the stuff I'm going to be bringing up here is some of the freeze stuff into the cans, because we have a bunch down there in California. And so it's like, all right, we're not going to go through this here, get it up there and get it stored up there. Yeah. So I'm going to be transporting a bunch of it up here. I got a bunch of stuff to bring up here. And
we did that.
If they got to get out of California, they can't bring everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I sent some in Balikbayan boxes, some of my favorite canned food, and we've got more last 2 trips we've been there. We've got that stuffed away.
Yeah.
And one thing, it's also part of that is I'm hoping to organize to where I can get some large pots. And if you remember that concreted path along the side of my house where the cats used to poop, that's going to be large concrete or pots for peas and beans, which will grow all year round. They never stop growing.
Bob, you just made me think of something on that. I know you mentioned that once before about that area. You may want to get weed blocker and get it all pre-cut to go inside those pots, and some rocks to put in there to keep the cats from climbing in there and peeing and pooping in that.
You know what I did at my flower gardens out in the front? This little aluminum wire right there. I made little foot spikes.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's just bend them in a Z angle, stick them in the soil, and they put some short ones for their paws, some long ones for their butthole, and then they avoid it. Every place I did that in the front garden, they're leaving.
Cool.
So now they're having to try to dig in that crushed rock.
Yeah.
No, but
Wayne, was it? Wait, hang on. Who said that? Go back up here. I'll talk about this. A suburban hillbilly said she wished her basement looked like this. I wish my shop looked like this. If I had that much stuff in the shop, I wouldn't. That would be 10 years at least worth of food supply for not only me, my wife, my 2 boys, but also the 6 people across the street too.
Green stock planters. I don't know what that is, but yeah.
Green stock. I did 2 videos on those. My wife has them. They're the vertical planters, and you would love them. I'll bring it up here in a second. I just want to check something here. Yeah, Tibor says doesn't worry about airlines being able to leave the country. Hey, maybe a cruise ship you're taking over there.
Well, if not, we'll stay here.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we have in our benefit is Mrs. and I have been to several continents many times. We're adaptable. We can go anywhere.
Yeah.
A lot of people just can't adjust. They just can't. They can't adapt.
Okay. So the question about the green stock, my wife got some sets of them, and she has all the strawberries in it, keeps it up off the ground, keeps the sow bugs and slugs out of the strawberries and stuff, and works really good. Hang on here. Green green stock planter. There we go. Come on. This is green stock planters.
Okay.
And these are bigger than the ones you can get on Amazon. They're bigger. They're way bigger than the ones you get at Dollar Tree. And they come in different. This is the five tier tall. They have the ones that are a little bit shorter, about 2/3 as tall as these. My wife got a mix, so she has the big ones on the bottom and the shorter ones on top. And they hold a lot of dirt. And you water from the tray on top here. You fill that tray up on top with water, and it waters down through all of them.
Very
and
cool.
So, yeah, it is cool. And something like that, the cats can't get into that to poop, and you can grow a lot of stuff. Your beans and peas and stuff will go nuts on that, Bob.
I don't know if I can get those overseas.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, things with the green stock, my wife is always watching, and when they go on super sale, she gets a set.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to get it and then ship it over there, or make something like that once you get over there.
I'm sure they've got something like that over there, probably even in terracotta. I don't have a lot of faith in plastics.
Yeah.
I just don't, because it breaks down with the sun so quickly, and it'll shatter on you.
Yeah, good. If they made that in a terracotta, that would be absolutely fabulous. That'd be like, you put it in place, you don't move it for 30 years, and then your kids inherit it.
One thing that I've seen for sale overseas.
Good night, Mary Beth.
Is these large? You can get them in their panels. They're like 6 or 8 feet tall, and they're all solid steel. And they're welded with rings protruding, so you could put potted plants. And people put those all over their houses, and with ornamental. You can plant anything in them, right? Because it depends upon the pot, But they use them to keep their house cool, because that way the sun hits the plants, it doesn't hit the concrete house,
Right, and then the plants take the sun and convert it photosynthesis, so that it takes that energy, so that the plants aren't just heating up; they're converting the energy, producing oxygen, growing, producing more shade.
Yeah. That's why I sent down there a while ago it's for drilling into concrete. It's a heavy duty tool. It's too heavy duty to use on the inside of the concrete inside your house, but it's right in. You saw those 30-foot high walls around the house. That's where some of those are going to go. I'm going to drill anchors in there and put mollies in them and use them to hold those kind of things up. Cool. And along with some large pots along where the cats used to go poop.
Yeah. CR, yes. Idaho Garden Girl does have these planters as well. Several other people have mentioned about them having the green stock planters.
Yeah, you're right, Caitlin. That would be perfect for growing herbs. It would be, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess Roots and Refuge has a deal with green stock for a $10 discount. I did the 2 videos I did 2 years ago, because I didn't go back to California last summer. So 2 years ago when I was over there, I assembled that and worked on that with my wife, setting up 2 of those, and I built some I'm trying to think of the word. Basically, casters and stuff for it to roll it around, so she move it around on the patio. And she move it out into the sun, and when it gets in the spring, and when it gets super hot, she can move it underneath the shade.
Yeah.
And the first one was building it. The second one was up. We were planting the strawberries in it, and have all the strawberries growing in it. And so,
Yeah, I was thinking of something like that for the potted plants that are on that concrete slab, because I've seen plants over there that get sunburned, just like Carol in Florida has talked about, um, how some plants just can't endure that kind of intense heat. So I could shove
Yeah,
them into the shade during part of the day,
yeah,
or not, whatever it was required to do.
yeah. I know they work. Shoot, I know they work great for everything, but I don't know. Haven't tried carrots because carrots usually have a long root, and they're a root plant. Radishes
Yeah.
are a root plant, but they're small. You can put a few root plant radishes in there. The dwarf mini tomatoes would work great because the amount of soil is, the dwarf, the mini dwarfs, you don't want to have in a big container. You want to keep it in a small container.
Hmm.
And that would work great for those as well.
Yeah, Tammy just came up with a pretty good idea. Say if I did get some of those, I don't know what you call them, where the pots are all over the wall. I can weld, and my brother-in-law can hook me up with some good places to get steel. That's a good idea. This inspired some thought there, Tammy, to weld on some arches and have beans and peas grow on some arches and shade some of the other plants below it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, there are some plants, like Carol was talking about there in Florida. Some of the plants she's getting are usually the plants that they can take the heat, but not the sun. They
hmm
need protection. They can take the 120-degree temperature so long as they're in the shade.
yeah. Well, I got a fella. He's a professional landscaper over there. My old buddy Ralph. And if I need info, all I got to do is call him. He knows exactly the ins and outs of all sorts of growing over there.
Okay, I just discovered something about Ace. I mean, Adventures with Outdoor Eagle. He's got a sense of humor similar to Jay and CR.
Oh god.
Now, I expected that to come from Jay. Uh, so for those that have come in later here, about 15 minutes before I started the live stream, I found out that GrayManPrepping. I forgot to change the title here. Yeah, so I'm on GrayManPrepping tonight, not Camp Pat and Family Compound. So GrayManPrepping now can do memberships. So I'm going to be doing memberships here. I just got to. It's going to take me about an hour to set them up after the live stream in the channel and everything. And I got to hunt up the figure. I started picking out some of the icons I want to use, the little emojis that members can use and stuff. But basically, I'm going to be doing 3 levels over here on GrayManPrepping. The first one is the prepper level, which is 99 cents a month. Keep it cheap. And that comes with most of the stuff that comes with is like member videos, member posts, just like I do on Camp Pat and Family Compound. The second level is called the Grayman level, which is $1.99 a month, and that includes a monthly class that I'll be doing, like a private live stream class for training that I'll be doing. And then the survivalist level is $4.99 a month, and that gives you 12 hours a year to pull up a one-on-one private, not a live stream, but it's a video conference with me, personal one-on-one, 12 hours worth a year. So plus, so like the prepper level, the Grayman has its plus the prepper level, the survivalist has that 12 hours plus everything else. So that's what I'm going to be setting up here. Mm-hmm. And hopefully I can drag the staff sergeant into the survival level to do a couple classes on financing and stuff. Because hey, that's what she is. She's an accountant. She's got her master's and everything else, and so she's
Duncan Homestead. Yeah, those shade cloths are available over in the Philippines. They're everywhere. One of my neighbors has got one of them. between our two houses to shade her patio.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. So one of the laundry baskets has all the holes. Is that one of the ones that come with all the holes in the side to begin with? Or you just a tall laundry basket type thing, you're putting holes in it? One of the things, speaking about that, one of the things that one of our friends down in California did, they got hold of some 30-gallon barrels, food grade barrels, but it had dish soap transported in it, bulk soap. Mm-hmm. And they got them, washed them out, and then they cut a notch about 4 inches, 5 inches wide, just a slot, every now and then going around it, and they did it in layers. Then they took a torch, propane torch, heated the plastic up and some wooden wedges, and then basically they, on the side of the barrel, they forced it out and made it like a little cup, so they could, and they filled it full of soil, and they just planted in those little cups, so the roots would go down into the main barrel. But that way they'd have their strawberries, or they'd have their cantaloupe growing out of there and hanging down. But the laundry basket, that's a new one. I did not, think about making out of the tall laundry baskets and turning those into planters. That is a great idea.
It is very good.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. All right, when it comes to shade cloth, you can buy some inexpensive stuff and it ain't going to last but a couple years. You spend a little bit more, it'll last 3 or 4 times as long as the cheap stuff, even though it costs only twice as much. So in the long run, you're saving money with a more expensive shade cloth because it's going to last a lot longer. You're not going to have to keep replacing it every couple of years. We found that out.
Yeah.
And the place where we got ours was a place called Home Base, which went out of business and got bought up by a company called Yardbirds, which underwent a hostile takeover from Home Depot. So whether or not Home Depot is carrying some of the good stuff that Yardbirds and Home Base had, don't know. But you look at the stuff and you check out the thick. You want to look at the thickness of the material, and they should list a life expectancy on it. If they don't, it means it's going to have a short one. Because the good quality ones say ours lasts 6-8 years, whatever it is, So yeah. You need like Uncle Al said last week. The cucumbers, when it starts getting super hot, start growing funky. They will stop growing long, and they'll suddenly get fat, or they'll grow knob. They'll turn like a little, crook, and it's they don't taste as good. The chickens still love them.
Yeah, I worked for a farmer who grew cucumbers as a crop, and it's pretty important to water them every day and during the height of the summer, because we started harvesting those in August, and I remember setting out sprinkler pipe every night after all the pickers left. I'd be there with the farmer setting out sprinkler pipe in different locations in the cucumber fields every day. So that way it helps to keep those things from turning into little balls, because if they get overheated, it's like it's drawing the energy away from the plant. It's just to be able to survive if it gets too hot,
Yeah, and for all the gardeners in here, gardening books is something, if there's something, like Courtney was raving about the book, Tomatoes Love Carrots, and there's some other ones and stuff like that too. There's information out there too. If you are a beginner gardener, get some of these books and stuff and read it. And of course, Ron had did a live stream this morning and I missed it, so I watched the replay. Ron is the Green Wizard, and he's got the Green Wizard's Guide for sale. I've read that book through about 4 times now. I'm going to read it through again before this summer, and a lot of good information for getting your soil to naturally help your plants and everything. How to develop a natural, healthy one. He and Howie at Food Forest Permaculture, 2 great sources for getting a good soil that is natural, sustainable, healthy, without using chemicals.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah. And on that vein, just a reminder, a friend of mine, Kathy Eccles, was the head of the horticulture department for the Contra Costa County College District system. There were 3 campuses in Contra Costa County, and she was the head of the horticulture department for the system. And she one of her things she's always told her students: do not use Miracle-Gro at all in any way, shape, or form. That is a bad steroid for a plant. You may get plants start doing this, and all of a sudden it's going to go, and those chemicals, you don't know what those chemicals are being passed on to you when you eat that food.
Yeah. That's why I'm against that Scott's turf builder for your grass. I can't say enough against it. Scott's or whoever, Lily Miller, it doesn't matter, because all it does is it kills all the earthworms in the soil.
Yeah.
And you got to put more of it on to keep your grass green. So it's a gimmick. I don't trust that stuff. I won't use it.
That's exactly what Ron talks about. About not using those chemicals, because it does kill the earthworms. You want to bring in the mitochondria. You want to bring in the earthworms. You want to bring everything in, so it produces and it turns the dirt into soil.
Yeah. Now, I'm just starting here, and most of you guys know. I just moved into this place, and I'm going to be doing some planting soon, and I'm going to use some of my own homemade fertilizer, coffee grounds, leaves, paper, because the earthworms love all of those items, and I'm going to plant it all underneath the soil all over the place. Earthworms will make a big difference, because if your roots are not bound up in the soil, then you're going to get some good, healthy plants. You want earthworms. If you lose your earthworms, you've lost everything.
Yeah. And several things that Ron pointed out, and he pointed out again on today's live stream with lawns and clover. Dandelions thrive where there is a low amount of calcium in the soil. And that's what they do. They go down deep and they bring the calcium up. They thrive. When the calcium level is up in the soil and stuff, the dandelions almost go away. They really die back, because they thrive in low calcium soil. They bring up calcium and deposit calcium in the upper soil. Same thing with the clover. The clover does nitrogen and fixes nitrogen in the soil and in the lawns. He was saying, like, some of the people are saying, I got clover in my lawn. He goes, good. You want to you want clovers growing, because your soil is missing nitrogen. Mm-hmm. And for a green lawn, you need to have nitrogen. Let the clover go for a couple of years. It'll produce the nitrogen, and it'll help build back the soil. Stop using the chemicals.
Hey, welcome back, Steve.
Go back 20 minutes. Had to go do something.
Yeah, the backyard here in this place, it's got buttercups, it's got clover, it's got dandelions, all that. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it alone. It's a natural, because these are the indigenous plants that grow in this area. I'm just going to leave it. The front is been all messed up, because I guess the lady who lived here, she wasn't able to take care of the place, so the neighbors would put grass fertilizer on the front, and it's like, I talked to the neighbors about that already. I'm not going to use that stuff, and I don't want them to put it on my grass.
Yeah.
Leave it alone. Just back away from it.
Let it heal. Let the soil heal itself and produce a good lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one of the things I'm going to be doing here, one of the things that they use around here a lot for cover crops They use a mixture of seeds, but they make sure they have peas, beans, clover, alfalfa. Those are a lot of things they'll use in a cover crop. And they'll like they've already seeded once with the cover crop before the first snow. So the seeds are there and they tilled it. Seeds are in the ground. And they'll throw out some more the first in the springtime as soon as they get the chance of the first growth. The object is to try to get the peas to sprout first.
Yeah.
And because the peas will sprout if they get like a week or 2 weeks of warm weather, then they get some more frost and snow. But the peas will grow up and the snow will come down on top of it and the peas will just stay there. The roots will grow down deeper. And as soon as it warms up again, it's like peas everywhere. And then but it doesn't choke out the alfalfa or the clover, which also fixes nitrogen and other nutrients into the soil. And they give that probably about 6 weeks or so. And then they disc it all in, and then they plant either the full alfalfa or the potatoes or the other crop they rotate through the fields and stuff. They plant the different crops that take some stuff out, put other stuff in, and they do that around here. So that way the soil doesn't get depleted.
Hey, Barry. Oh, yeah. Tonight's topic is what are the 10 preps that make you sleep. I would say just in general, anybody who wants to begin prepping, for crying out loud, get some food put away, canned food, please, because you just don't know what's going to happen. I don't think there will be any major collapse of anything, but it does help you feel better when you can go, well, it's like when my wife had surgery. For a long time I wouldn't leave her side. I'd stay right next to her, so I didn't have to leave the house for any reason. I had everything I needed already stored here, up to including extra laundry soap, dish soap, water, everything. That's one of just having food. It puts your mind at ease.
Yeah. One of the things I found out, gypsum is a naturally occurring mineral. It's calcium. And that's one of the things you can put out for your if you have too many dandelions and you want to have some grass for the kids grandkids to play on. So we put out calcium out. It didn't eliminate the dandelions, but it sure reduced the number of them. And it also reduced the number of star thistle that was trying to grow in the lawn as well.
Oh, yeah. I had a little bit of that back there.
Yeah. That's what I thought, Brenda. All right. I'm going to put the other one. So she meant clover, not Glover. Yeah. And that's one of the things we're thinking about doing across the street where my daughter's been planting apple trees and stuff, is plant some clover around them to help fix and repair the soil over there.
Yeah. I know it's a little late in the year, but I think soon I'm going to order a bunch of bulbs, some crocus and some daffodils. I've talked about this a little bit on Courtney's the other day, that there's an area in my backyard that the cherry tree, it's not a flowering cherry tree, it's a real cherry tree.
Right.
They're sticking up so high that I can't cut the grass around it. So I'm gonna make use of the area between the roots. I'm gonna put in some bulbs and some rhubarb. Good old rhubarb.
What you might want to think of too is when you're doing that, put down some of that homemade compost stuff around there too, so it'll build the soil up around the roots. Yeah,
you see, this is some of the homemade compost I've made today. This is all coffee grounds, paper, leaves, all dried out, and then I run it through a blender and turn it into a powder, more or less. And I throw that stuff down when I throw down the bulbs and all that. And this stuff, the earthworms eat it, and as long as the earthworms come around the bulbs and the rhubarb and whatever else I plant, we're in good shape.
Yeah, earthworm castings are great.
Oh, you bet
fertilizer.
it is. That's pure soil, dude. Is really what it is. You know,
All
the
right.
the
Star thistle is an invasive species
mm,
that it's nasty. It's got a little purple flower on it, similar to an artichoke, and it's got so many thorns and everything else over it. It's bad for cattle, bad for horses, bad for people, bad for kids,
mhm,
dogs. You walk by and you get stuck and you hurt for days.
mhm.
And it makes land unusable. And unfortunately, the canal immediately to the west of us is owned by the Blackfoot Indian Reservation. They don't take care of the canal. They don't come out, maintain it, mow it, do anything. And it's a big canal. And so that stuff grows wild along the side there. And so I'm not sure who's doing it, but several people in town, I suspect, are going out there and burning it, 2-3 times during the summer to keep the weeds off of it, so they're not blowing into town, because it blows from that side into town most of the time. Try to get rid of that star thistle. Hey, Vanessa Kitty. But yeah, it would be kind of interesting if Steve is still out there. If Steve's gotten home yet, or is he still driving? Pull into the parking lot and tell us the top 3 things besides firearms to help you sleep better at night. I bet part of it's going to be his training as a Marine, but there's be interesting to hear from Steve what some of the things that he has that help him sleep. Oh, you're here. So what things help you sleep better at night, Steve? Now, I know Steve is proud of his garden he's been putting in and growing. He's growing more and more food. And I bet as he grows more food, I bet that climbs the ladder of this that helps him sleep better at night. But there's
The bed.
Marines don't use a bed. They just throw out a blanket on the ground and sleep on the ground. I know my wife, that house in California. Gear. Oh, all right, Gear. I'll put that one up.
Hey, Vanessa.
Maybe. Sleeping pills, Jim Beam, and a comfy comforter. My wife, we put in a nice lawn, did all the landscaping stuff for it, and put sprinklers, all the stuff in, got it all nice and low so we could mow it. After 1 year, it was like, no, I'm going to get rid of the lawn. I'm going to plant a garden out front. And shortly after that, we did not have any. There has been no lawn in our property there for nigh on 20 years. And it's garden front and back. Wayne, a pond is great because you got fish in it. And if you have the right type of fish, you can flush into the pond, and the fish will take care of everything. Oh, having health insurance, no credit card bills, no car payment. Yes. All right, Steve, to go in the direction that I forgot to go in. Thank you, Steve. Absolutely. Having the house, it's my wife, when we got married, one of the first things she did was to start hunting for a better loan on the house. And it took about 2 years after we got married that the interest rates went, and she got us a refinancing on the house from a 30-year loan to a 15-year loan with an increase of the monthly house payment of only $58. So we wound up paying off the California house a lot quicker. And basically, by the time our daughter graduated high school, the house was paid for, all our vehicles were paid for, and we started increasing the amount we were putting into our retirement funds. But we've always, from the first, I guess about even before when we got engaged, it was about 11 and a half months later we got married. Through that, she taught me with a 2x4 to the side of my head, figuratively speaking, about paying off the credit cards a couple days before the bill's due. Because I would get a bill, I would pay it immediately, 15 days early. It's just, no, we keep that money in the savings account and let it earn a little bit more interest, and then we pull it out and pay the credit cards off totally a couple days before the bill's due. Now, actually, CR, my wife and I each have, actually, I got one credit card. My wife has 3. She only uses one. Once a year, she puts something on her JCPenney card to keep it active, and she puts something on her Sears card to keep it active. The rest of the time, we use our Amazon Prime cards for everything, and those are paid off fully every month. And it's just because you look at the interest rate, if you're late on the payment, it's like, holy crap, they're charging us that much, and it's like, no. So we schedule our payments like we'll get the bill, and right then when we get the bill, we schedule the payment. We go online, schedule the payment to pay it 2 days before the bill is due. Of course, if the bill is due like on a Sunday or a Monday, we schedule the payment on the Thursday or Friday before. That's the only time we do more than just 2 days, because if there's a banking issue. But since it's scheduled, since our Amazon Prime credit cards are with Chase Bank, and that's where we have our checking account we pay it from, it's like, hey, you guys, it was scheduled with you guys already. You guys screwed up on the transfer. They screwed up once on transferring and tried to charge us interest. We went down and go, see, it was scheduled on this date. You guys screwed up and not doing the transfer, and they took away the interest charge they tried to put on it and corrected everything.
Well, I want to bounce out, guys. Got a couple things got to do.
Okay, thanks for coming up, Bob. And oh wow, I went late tonight. All righty, take care. All right, so I'm gonna I'm gonna go ahead and put up the memberships here on the channel. If anybody's interested in memberships, on what's the date here? Check it on it. Wrong tab. So on Tactical Tuesday in 3 weeks, on the 31st, we'll be doing the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So you still have some time to get in there and try to get into the running for one of the prizes. You can check out the rule video. Actually, it should be in the description down below here. But coming up here, come on, bring it up. There it is. All right, so Thursday night is the midnight ride. Starts at 11:55 Eastern time, Thursday. And that's just open chat wherever it goes. I read off some of the news articles that I get. And if anybody has any news articles, topics they want me to talk about, email to me. Email's in the bottom of the description. Friday night on the Homestead, we're doing a repeat of what I tried to do here on Tactical Tuesday back in November. And there was internet problems across the United States that night. Not saying why. But the topic is people will starve when the shelves are full. And we go back and look at historically, back especially to the Great Depression, when store shelves were full and people were starving. And so we'll talk about that on this Friday, on Friday night in the Homestead. This coming Monday is an open chat one for the Monday Night Fireside chat, unless somebody has a topic they want to talk about. So if there's a topic you want to talk about, gardening, homesteading, anything kind of relating more to homesteading than prepping, email me at Camp Patton Family Compound. Make that into one long word at gmail.com, and I will add more topics to the Camp Patton Family Compound schedule. Yeah. So I appreciate any input of what you guys want to hear about and talk about. That'll help us up here, make it more interesting to you. Because I got a lot of stuff I can talk about, but it may not be interesting to you. I could talk to you about a recipe for a killer triple fudge brownie mix that my wife absolutely goes nuts on. But anyways, so thank everyone for coming in here. Thank Bob for coming up here and being on the panel. Thank everybody that was commenting in the side chat. And those of you who are just all watching and listening, thank you for coming in, and hopefully you'll learn something. And maybe next time you'll be able to offer something up to us. All righty? So as always, everyone, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicine, clothing, and I froze, clothing and skills. All righty? And we'll see you later. Take care.